What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another post game, post day live show, and we're gonna break down another draw. No surprise, actually. It's very common right now. Actually, if you're a betting man, you must have won a lot of money this season. Just saying. But yeah, Norbert, 1-1. Again, another draw. First off, how are you doing?
Well, yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not the best after this draw. It's like I don't know. It's like a carpe diem or like a bad feeling. Like I don't know. Um, I wanted to. I don't know. It's horrible. It's hard to say anything. I'm talking nonsense right now. So yeah, let's try to talk about this still.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad, right? It's just
Yeah.
it's just bad. Like that's the the takeaway of I think another draw is like usually like the takeaway the lately is just we don't create enough chances, right? We don't score enough goals. But yesterday I had another takeaway that I had a couple of weeks ago when I said, "Man, we're not mature," which is kind of normal because we're a young squad, I guess. But yesterday I wasn't really pissed about us not creating the chance. Basically, I was more pissed about the last 50 minutes. Okay, the second half was poor, but the last 50
Yeah.
minutes I was watching and I was like, what are we doing? From decision makings on the pitch as well as decision making off the pitch. Like we did everything possible to throw that game away, and in the end, we threw that game away. A game that we shouldn't have won, actually. If we're being maybe based on the first half, but like the draw, like I came out of that game, I was like, yeah, fair, I guess, fair result. So that was my thing. Like the worry is not just we don't create enough chances. It's also, man, the decisions we make, on and off the pitch are really bad. They're just adding to what's already a struggling team in that regard. And to the weird part is, if you tell somebody we're still unbeaten in the league this season, they will be like, wow. But if you add the context to it, you're like, yeah, that's not good. So I don't know. Like, what is your takeaway of that game? Because I don't like.
Yeah, it's hard to say anything. Nothing is changing. For example, Motta last year with that Bologna played three different tactics, and his subs were different as well. And now we only try to do one thing, and he looks stubborn, which I was hoping that he's not, but he looks stubborn with his ideas, and his subs so far this season are horrible. His starting 11 is okay, I would say, but his subs are horrible. And now there was no need to sub off the best player in the pitch, Consensao, for example.
The moment of the subs were like the players he has available are the players what he has available, I guess. But that felt like I'm just gonna make a sub. I'm making subs just for the sake of making subs. Because like you said,
Yeah,
like the game was in the back. Like I don't know. Like Gatti not injured, by the way. There's no report suggesting he was injured. Not saying Gatti was
yeah.
playing well, but moving Danilo made us worse. That like it made
Da-
us worse. And
Danilo was
everybody could have
okay as a right back,
yeah,
right? He
but the
was
moment he
okay.
moved him as a center back, everybody knew what was gonna happen. Like everybody
Yeah,
knew what was gonna happen. It was poor again. So the subs were just I'm gonna make subs. They were not needed, because we do not play until next Saturday. Those extra 25 minutes for Conceição and whoever were not gonna make the difference, for a week.
yeah,
Like they had a day off today. Like they will be good. So the decisions being made are also really bad. But
yeah.
why? Why did we change from the start of the season? And before I ask that question, I will stop everybody in the chat and the comments saying, "Oh, we miss players." even when we had the players, remember the first two games, even in preseason, like it was clear that man, we just overload one part of the field so much and we switch it. Remember how many times in Bangula was just on his own, like completely on his own. And yeah, the PSV game, for example, that first half, how many times did Yildiz cut inside, Koopmeiners dropped to the left, Cambiasso made that overlap. We made teams think, made them like they
Yeah,
needed to make decisions. Right now, they don't need to make a decision. The decision is
yeah,
very simple. Just keep Yildiz very close to the line, save like everything.
yeah,
And if he cuts inside, fine. If he takes a good shot, well, it's one of those days, I guess. But other than that, like, it's very predictable. It's very easy
yeah.
to defend,
Like
in my opinion.
after the Stuttgart loss and the 4-4 against Inter, something changed in Motta, and he plays this I don't know, this balls less, or like no balls football, which is super annoying to that we are here where we were last year. It's extremely frustrating, and like Hanin said in the group chat or the channel. Discord channel, that it's long term. It's getting really like worrying what is happening, and I can only hope that he changes something, because there is no way he likes what he sees on the field.
No, like you know why we know for a fact he doesn't like what he sees, because he said like Koopmeiners is not adding basically much because he's not playing in the position I basically wanted to play, but it is what it is right now. And in one part I'm like, I see your point, but at the other part I'm like, it's not working. Like it's just not working.
Yeah,
The team is not working and he is not working as well. So what value are you like defensively fine? Is he gonna lose so much defensively if you tell him to drift to the left and like you'll just come inside? Not for 90 minutes,
yeah,
but like switch it off. Are you gonna lose? Like it feels like he's not taking the risks he was willing to take at the start of the season right now. And that's cool if you are super efficient and you
yeah,
create enough chances. We are not doing that right now. Like we need to take some risks because we play Bologna. The way we play, we're not beating Bologna. Like we do not. How do you want to say that? We're not convincing enough for me to suggest we're gonna beat any team. Also, not to suggest we're just gonna lose to any team. But like, I expect that against Bologna, you're not gonna lose. Like, it should be. That should be the top process. But right now, I don't think a team like what Giuntoli said post game. He said like it's cool like having the ball, but you need to pick your moments and stuff like that.
yeah,
We don't pick our moments as well. Like it's the same thing over and over again, and it's like you're hitting a brick wall. Every single time, and it's like we got to a point in the pitch, and now it's done basically. We need to settle to go again, and it's frustrating. It's worrying. It's everything you wanted to call, but right now it's like it's not good. And somebody told me today, it's like, man, chill, it's only 6 points. I'm not upset about the title. That's like February, start of February. I will look at the standings and I'll be like, cool. Right now, I don't care. And 6 points, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's still early. That's basically nothing in my opinion. But
yeah.
it's obviously that we're not that team. Like it's
You,
very
you know what,
obvious.
yeah, I feel the same way as last year when we said that, okay, we are winning games now, but for sure long term we will, it will just drop off and we will not win games because how we played. And I feel the same, and although only draws come out of this, but it's gonna get worse if something is not changing. And I'm not a coach, but come on, certain things are visible. Like when Locatelli and Turam is not there, then we look weak in on the midfield and certain things. So it's worrying.
Yeah, I mean, for example, Atalanta just scored. After should like they should have been down a couple of goals to be honest, but that goal was rubbish. It deflected like ours. However, you can feel the last 10 minutes. I was watching it like for the first time, like for real. I had it on for 10 minutes. I had it on the background, and I had my eyes on it. it wasn't they're missing chances, but the pressure in and around the box feels like something is gonna happen because like they keep the ball in and around the box, and even if they put in some crosses, it goes out, it goes back in again and again. Like it's consistent with us. Nothing is consistent. It's very
Yeah,
slow. It's very it's very hard. Like Conceição needs to come from way deep. Like remember when we talked about
yeah,
that last season? Players need to come from very deep. Chiesa, for example, and it's like, come on, man. Like that's just not gonna work. I have that same feeling. Like players need to come from very deep to create just like not even half chances at this moment in time, you know?
yeah,
Because yesterday we should have been up in the first half. But besides the Turam one, we didn't create anything. Like the Conceição
yeah,
one was just unlucky. You know, it wasn't a greatest chance. Like it was just a crazy, like a very good shot, and he was unlucky. But other than that, like it wasn't where, like it wasn't the case where it's like, okay, at least you know we're creating chances or putting pressure on teams. We're not putting pressure on teams. You know, watching that, I'm like, we can play Venezia of all teams because we played Lecce and they will be very comfortable. You know, just seeing out the game because we're toothless. We're toothless, and the worrying part is it would be much easier to say, if Gonzalez is back or Vlahovic is back and Milik is back and Douglas Luiz is back, everybody's fit, it'll all be good. It won't be, right? Like that's not
yeah.
really the
It's
issue right now.
not about, yeah, it's not about individuals. It's the tactics. It's something that is not being told to the players, or something that is told not to do, or something is wrong. Clearly, it's not the individuals. It's the tactics.
Yeah. Somebody's saying, Calvin is saying, I wonder if those who hate watch Juve are having fun or just as bored as as we. They're bored, but post game they're having fun. I'm not gonna lie. Danilo goes to center back. Why is it not? Oh, Danilo goes to center back, and straight away he gets a yellow card. And I was expecting that, to be honest. Well, everybody was, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't think Koop knows what his job is. He's using Koop in that position, and from the looks of it, I think Scope doesn't even know what position requires from a player. Well, he cannot play that position. Imagine Quadrado winning the league consecutive years after leaving with Juve with different teams. But yeah. So another drop points. Like we are dropping points against some really bad teams, you know, like Lecce,
yeah,
Cagliari, Empoli, Parma, Roma. Like we're dropping points against teams, and you can drop points. It happens, but man, when you drop, I don't know, like 5 games against just bad teams, like yeah, and you know what it is, in all of those games, it wasn't like, oh man, it was one of those games. It wasn't like Cagliari, we threw it away. Empoli, there was nothing. Roma, there was nothing. Yesterday, we threw it away. You know, it like that's the case. It like the only game we got completely outplayed was Stuttgart, and I was like, yeah, we should have deserved that
yeah.
out. And I'm still not sure how Stuttgart managed to pull that off because, well, they're losing to everybody, conceding a ton of goals. But that's the only game we got outplayed. So that's kind of the, should I call it the positive out of it, where I'm like, yeah, we're not winning the games, but we're not getting outplayed as well, you know? So even though it doesn't feel like we just need something is missing and we will start clicking, the, how do you want to say that? You know, the other part of the feeling is like very deep down inside, it's like we don't get outplayed. Like there's not games where we just completely get outplayed and you're like, man, we're so far off.
Well, if we would get outplayed, then we would lose these games and not draw them, I guess.
But like,
But
how many games
yeah,
were like the Inter game we were behind, right? And
yeah,
that's about it. Like we
yeah,
threw games away, or we just couldn't break them down as well. That's also part of it, I guess. But like Rome, Napoli are leading. We didn't get outplayed by Napoli. We didn't get outplayed by Milan. We got outplayed by Inter for a good 50 minutes, basically, where we needed some Di Gregorio saves, I guess. And that's about it. And Stuttgart for 90 minutes. That's a fact. But other than that, I think like I don't know what it is right now because We don't have the players. I know that, but I'm not sure why Motta is insisting on just doing the same thing. Like, because I don't know if it's gonna work, but would it be such a disaster if he's like, you know what, Koopmeiners, if Yildiz is drifting inside and I am instructing him to drift inside, you pick up the left hand side. Yes, you lose possession. Is that gonna be it? Is because right now, I think that's the feeling Motta has. If we lose the ball right now, and we're in trouble. You know, if I give
Yeah.
some players some freedom to roam, I guess. But is that the case when you're playing teams like Lecce? Like, should that be kind of the top process? You know, going to Lecce and be like, man, if we lose possession, we're screwed because they scored 6 goals before yesterday. Like, they had the worst attack in the league. And at one point in the second half, I was like, oh my god, what the hell did Roma miss? At one point in the second half, I was like, are we playing Inter or are we playing Lecce? Because they were creating
Mm.
open, like they were carving us open at one point, like just carving us open.
I it's hard to say anything. What is like when I so pre prior this Lecce game, like we played already bad. So why not try something on the away to Lecce? Why not try something new? Like I don't understand. Like it's clear that Koopmeiners in the 10 is not he's not there. He's just never at the 10. He's always like drifting back or somewhere else. He doesn't know how to play at 10. And yeah, as you said, like I think Yildiz should play 10 and then whatever the rest. I don't care, but something we need to try. And yeah, that second half against Lecce, like it's insane. They were the better team in the second half, clearly, and it can't happen. Like we are Juventus, as the fans, the ultras told the players like find your balls, grow balls, and use them. And yeah, it's true. It's horrible.
I mean, like like the quality up to a certain point is just bad. You know, we know that. Like, there's no like two ways around it. You know, there's no sugarcoating it. It is what it is. Like, it's bad. At one point, you're looking at that team and like, well, that's our limit right now. And it's just frustrating to watch. You know, and when you lose that game because of just self-inflicted mistakes, because well, let's talk about Cambiasso because he's a fantastic player and he had very good moments in that game yesterday. But even in the first half,
Yeah,
he had some very bad moments where I was like, it's outshining the good moments because you're actually trying to put us in trouble, like really put us in trouble. And he did well for the goal, you know, bursting forward, so on. But I'm not gonna praise you if you decide to throw that game away in the end. You know,
yeah.
young or not young, how young is he? 24, is he? You know, so
I think he's older, but yeah,
is he even older? He's not a kid. I have no because a minute before that, he already lost possession in a similar way, where he just tried to dribble a couple of players and he lost it. I was like, sure, you're just gonna square it right now. And you like the moment he lost that ball, you can rewatch it. You can see Motta on the
yeah,
sidelines with his hands in the air, being like, "What the hell are you doing right now?" Because you leave your position for no good reason with 1 minute on the clock, trying to dribble, and you beat one or two players. At that point, just stop, pick up the foul
yeah,
or square it. You know, do what you have to do, basically. You know, considering the game we played, and the thing part, the funny part is against Aston Villa, Gatti came out. He said, "Man, if you cannot win a game, you should not be losing that game." And yesterday it felt like a loss. It felt like a
yeah.
loss. I'm not sure what Cambiasso was doing there. I watched it and I had no reaction when we conceded because I was like, what just happened? Like, why was that needed? You know, we didn't do that for the entire second half. And a minute 92, 93, 94, whatever, you're like, you know what? The smart thing for me to do now is leave my position and lose possession. absolutely ridiculous, and he threw that game away. And still, like, it's okay to call that out and still think Cambiasso is a good player,
Yeah,
but he threw
yeah,
that game away. Like, he threw it away completely.
yeah. You're right. He's 24. I just checked. But he feels like one of the more experienced players just because the national team and how he plays most of the time. Yeah, you should not do these things. You score a game, and some statistical sites named him the best player out of Juve, which is insane to me
Now, if you do that, you
because
just can't. I'm sorry.
yeah, you just can't respect those pages. Whoever does that. But yeah, it's truly mind-boggling what he did, and I hope the only hope is that he learned from it.
Yeah, like at this point, it is hope because like there are moments in certain games where you just need to you need to close it out, you know, and that wasn't like that didn't require anything special. Like you got to the halfway line, like you did what you had to do basically,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah, he got
decided
the yeah he did most of the work, and then from that hope, I know that there's a hole behind me. I just pass it or just kick it away or whatever. Anything would have been better.
it's just I mean these things as well like are not helping. Like we're already in difficulties. Those things are just making it even more difficult for us. They're just adding
Yeah,
to what's already a bad, not bad, like yeah, it's not a good period for us. Let's be completely honest.
yeah, yeah,
Because like we remain undefeated in Serie A, which is cool, I guess. But if somebody told me, man, you would have lost 2 games, but you won 3 more, I'm like, cool,
yeah.
like
We
cool.
would have more points, so yeah,
Yeah, I don't care. Like at the end of the day, it's about the points and the improvement. Right now, the points are not coming, not as much as they
yeah,
should be, considering who we are playing, by the way,
yeah,
and the excuse me the improvements are not there. Like I don't see uh, us taking backs in the way we defend or the way we keep the ball. That's not getting worse or getting better for that sake as well. But the main thing, us creating chances, being more fluid up top and so on, those things are just not like actually they're getting worse. Like I remember a month and a half ago we were talking about the same things. Oh, we do not create enough. But I was
yeah,
thinking about those games. Actually, compared to now, we created a lot. like
yeah.
like compared to those games, like we compared it a lot. We
I, I
created a lot, and it was
I think I
still
saw it
bare
somewhere.
minimum.
Double. We created double the amount, and still, yeah,
It's still not good. Like Leipzig, excuse me, not Leipzig, Villa, Milan, Lecce.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, not good. Like actually not good. So I'm not I'm not I'm not sure how we're gonna fix that right now. I think the only thing to do right now, something he hasn't done,
Yeah.
is move positions a little bit. Shift it around,
Shuffle
slightly
it around.
tweak
Yeah,
it a little bit, to get players in certain positions because Koopmeiners is not involved, and if he's involved, he's not involved. So if you know what I mean, like he gets a touch on the ball, but it, it doesn't add anything to whatever we're trying to do there up front. It's just not adding anything to it, and that's a problem. And if you were watching that for 3-4 weeks, being Motta, like surely at one point you're like, okay, this is just pointless. We're doing something completely pointless right now. So I don't know about that, but let's talk about Motta, and let's talk about the subs, because last, like, he got criticized for the subs, and we touched on it earlier on, like why did he make those subs. I have no idea. um do you know, because against Aston Villa, in the pre-presser he said, like, I didn't take any youngsters because what's the point if I'm not going to play him, so on so on. Right now he takes players from the Primavera, and it's 1-0. It's a KG game, like we're actually, like, Lecce are on top, and he's like, let me chuck in the players right now, like, why? Like, just when he took off Gatti, I was like, Rui, Like I've not seen him since Genoa.
Yeah,
That's like 2 months ago or something, right? Like
yeah,
easily 2 months, maybe even more than 2 months. I don't know, or just about 2 months. That's crazy. Like, what was the point to make those
yeah.
subs at that moment in
Um,
time?
I don't know, like why the opponent is not dead yet, and you're subbing off Gatti, who had not the best game. He was struggling as well, but I just don't understand. Okay, Consensao, maybe I understand, like whatever, let him rest. But and subbing off a midfielder like from the middle
Yeah,
when like they can control games like Locatelli and Turam together. They were pretty solid, stable. And the second Fagioli came in, poor Locatelli was running double the amount because Fagioli just didn't really
yeah. I
know
mean,
what to do.
that cameo from Fajardi, and even against Villa, oh my god.
Yeah,
I don't want to take like if you don't play and you get garbage time minutes and the team is not playing well, it's tough. But when I see people saying at halftime, bring on Fajardi, we need some creativity. I'm not sure what I've missed because there's something surrounding Fajardi that people think he creates a shitload of chances or something. I've
mhm,
never seen it. Like maybe it's me because
yeah,
I do not link that to Fagioli creating a lot of chances. Like I don't link that. So that's why I've always said you bring on Fagioli as a sub. I'm not sure what really the point is. Maybe he can keep hold of the ball better in and around the box. Maybe.
yeah.
Not maybe, probably. But I cannot recall him him doing that leading to a lot of chances or a lot of dangers. So him on, excuse me. I don't see the point, but if you do so, well, bring him on earlier because that cameo was just that that was really poor. That was bad. You know.
Like bring him on to play as a 10 or something else, not to break down this this midfield that works relatively well and can control the game quite good. So yeah,
I mean, yeah. You know what also was telling in my opinion that like who would have thought that let's say like the end of May or something, and I would told you, man, the 2nd of December, we will have a show where I'm gonna ask you, do we miss Savona at the back? Because, and that's not me even saying Savona is a world beater. However, I mean, like at one point yesterday, I was watching that second half. I was like, I've not seen Savona getting cooked that much this season, like
yeah,
overall,
yeah,
let alone in one game. Because players were getting caught out of positions, like by miles. Like not even, oh, they just skip past them, like a bit of luck, like just clear acres of space. And I was like, the positioning of certain players was also bad yesterday, especially at the back in the second half. From the um, right back, left back. I've not seen that from Savona. So for me,
yeah.
even for me, probably not you because you rate Savona quite highly. I'm like,
Yes.
this is not a good sign. It's a good sign because Savona did what he had to do probably, but in general, that's not a good sign. That's not a
Like,
good
come on.
sign.
Savona played against the Quaradona and he played against Leao, and both of them were unanimous in the game. So like defensively, he's a lot better than anyone we have as a right back. So yeah, I miss him from the pitch. Although Danilo wasn't completely horrible and useless as a right back, but still Savona is way better. And yeah, we need him against the better teams for sure.
Yeah, Zaniolo just scored and took off his shirt. I'm not sure why, but
Okay.
that was so weird. Man, Roma fans backed him after 2 injuries. Yeah. Um, does anyone know when the injured players are coming back? No. Not even the
No one
players,
knows.
not even the doctors.
Yeah,
Nobody knows.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's. I want to say it's insane, but I think it speaks for itself, right? You know, Douglas Luiz is about out for a month and a half with a muscle fatigue. If anyone thinks that's normal, yeah, explain to me why. Do you think that's normal? Nico Gonzalez, I don't even know what the injury is at this point. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it's not normal to miss 2 months, or was it 3 months right now? I don't know what it is. Like,
A
he's been
lot.
out. What was it pre-game? No, it was Leipzig away, right? How long is that ago? That's September. What was the injury? At this point, I'm
Wow.
like, what is the injury he had?
Like players returning from ACL injuries nowadays faster than Nico Gonzalez returning from whatever he has.
Like the injury, like, do you actually know the injury he has? Like, can you recall the injury he has? Maybe anyone in the chat, because I like it's been
Something with
so
his
long.
thighs, no?
Yeah, but what? Like, it's been so
I have no
long.
idea.
I
Yeah.
forgot. I just forgot. Like, I actually forgot. That's insane. You know, Vlahovic. Like, when you hear we're monitoring it day to day, he's done. Like, the player is done. Vlahovic as well. Nobody knows. Douglas Luiz. Nobody knows. Like, actually, no. There's no timeline. Like, Nico Gonzalez was doing training sessions on his own pre-Lille game. I think it was before the
Yeah.
Lille game. Like, what happened? Like, what happened? Because at that point, it felt like, man, he's a week away from just chilling with the group in training,
Yeah.
I guess. What happened
Yeah.
between, like, how is there no reporting? How is nobody asking Motta these questions in the presser, saying, "Hey, he was there
So
before Lille,
I,
basically almost. What the hell happened? That's a month ago. Like, come on."
it's insane. I just checked. So exactly 61 days ago he got injured. Muscular problems. That's the thing. And 12 games he missed so far. That's insane.
That's not normal. Like,
It's- yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like, but we had these issues for a while now with the injuries. So why not fix it? Maybe like kick out everyone or something. I
I
don't
don't,
know.
I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's really bad. Like, it's just really bad. You know, McKennie, like, what happened to McKennie? Like, like, does anyone actually know? Like, really? Like, the moment the club puts out there, we will monitor it day by day. At this point, I'm gonna say you guys have no clue what's going on as well. Like, that's basically the explanation they're giving us. We don't know. Just bear with us. We have no clue. That's how it feels.
It's
And for that
it's
part, I
crazy.
do feel like I do feel sorry for Motta, because he turns around and he's like, I have two goalkeepers on the bench, Danilo in normal circumstances, Fagioli, Mbangula, and whatever. You're not gonna change the game with that. Like, it's impossible. Like, it's just not possible. You're gonna change the game
Yeah.
by bringing them on in a negative way, I think. But positively impact the game in a positive way, it's just not gonna happen. So I do feel
So
sorry for him.
Mr. McMuffin has a muscle fatigue, and he missed 4 games now because of this. He had it in two different periods in October and now. So there you go. It's just amazing. Maybe the trainings are too hard, or I don't know. Like really.
No, because we had them with Allegri, and well, we know very well the training sessions are very
Yes,
chill with
true.
Allegri. Like,
Yeah,
so I don't know. Like, with Conte, it was basically military camp, and we didn't had these
yeah,
injuries, so
yeah,
it's completely off. And I cannot understand. I cannot grasp that a multi-million euro company basically is
yeah,
okay with losing million. They're losing millions with injuries. I don't think, you know what it is, and I didn't even know as well until maybe 2 years ago, that like injuries cost clubs up to 10 million euros a season. Like, they can cost, like, with facility bills, like
yeah,
everything. It's an
yeah.
insane cost. We will reach that number this season easily at this point. Like, I cannot understand how the club is sitting there and being like, Yeah, cool. I guess I hear Giuntoli speak earlier on before the live saying that it's hampering us. I'm like, but there's no leaks or anything that you're actually trying to fix it. You cannot fix a player if he's injured. He's injured. But like you said, I've seen Scalvini back in training with Scamacca almost. They tore his ACL, their ACLs, 4 or 5 months ago. Four
Yeah.
months ago? 5 months ago? We have Nico Gonzalez out with a muscle injury for 2 months. Like, I tore my ACL and I played football faster than 2 months. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was half torn. I couldn't stand on it, But a month and a half later, I put a brace on and I went out playing. Yes, it's like it's not a top level. However, like come on, it's a muscle injury.
Yeah, I don't get it. And so I assume none of these injured players gonna play next week.
Oh no, even if they're on the bench, it's just vibes, I guess. Fill up the bench.
Yeah, at least we don't have to call up all these 19-year-old boys.
Yeah, I mean that was pointless as well. Um, Actually, when you train more, you're less prone to injuries. That's also a fact. Um, Muscle injuries are on players as well, not just the medical staff. Your way of life outside the pitch affects you when it comes to muscle injuries. Yeah, I get it, but I doubt, like I doubt Nico Gonzalez is a party boy, you know?
He
Like
looks a professional. Yeah.
Douglas Luiz, he looks like that, but from people, and you can look it up. He loves the game. Like he stays at home. Like he's not somebody who goes out a lot, according to reports. Like Vidal and Cáceres went on the like Vidal like went out 24/7.
He was always drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, he played drunk. Like I'm pretty convinced. I think everybody is convinced about that. So I get it, but he picked up that injury. It's 2 months right now. Like, like that's unbelievable. When you put it like that, that's actually unbelievable. I
Yeah.
forget he's on the team. Like I do.
Yeah. It's gonna be a new signing when he once he returns.
Um, Apparently they're trying to fix Gonzalez muscles to be less injury prone. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Um, Last topic before we wrap it up, and maybe we don't need to spend a lot of time on it because I'm gonna ask you the question and the chat as well. If Weah doesn't score goals, what is he? What is he good at? What is his? What is his impact on the team? And I know Motta said defensive work rate, fine, but you play him up top, whatever, false nine on the wing.
Yeah.
What does he offer to the team? Because I've said it for a
I
couple of weeks right now, and yesterday I was watching, I was like, buddy, you just offer nothing to me. Like, like he doesn't even, when Vlahovic drops in, and the link-up play is shit. Maybe he doesn't even do that. Like he doesn't. Like he's just gone. Like yesterday, I think it was
Yeah.
minute 60 plus or something, and the commentator said his name. I was like, oh shit, he's playing. I forgot he was playing. So what do you know potentially what he's adding if he doesn't get on the score sheet?
If I really have to say something, I think off the ball movement maybe, but even then, it's yeah, nothing. He's fast, but he won one on one. He won one on players, and he won dribble past players. So that's an interesting one. Um, yeah, he has a good shot on him, but we only saw it what 2 times in these periods. So yeah, it's we could have started the Punya, the youngster dude, instead of him, and we would be at the same spot. So yeah, he's if he's not scoring goals, he's not good for anything, to be honest.
No, I the most like I've said it so many times. He has so much pace, he doesn't use it. Like it feels like he's
Yeah.
scared or somebody needs to. Um,
You know when he's using it, when it's like a through ball, and then he runs for it. But when
yeah,
he has the ball and he needs to use the space, then he won't use it.
it's frustrating. Yeah, like yes, like he
Yeah.
cannot play nine, like false nine. He just can't. The movement is completely off, in my opinion. He doesn't get involved. He doesn't try to get involved as well. At least, and it frustrates me, Vlahovic drops in extremely deep to even get a touch on the ball. I don't know he's like a
Yeah,
natural number 9, but still, like, like I was watching that, in the first half especially, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, what is actually really the point? If you're not getting the goal, you're not adding a lot. You know what it is with Yildiz and Conceição? If they don't add the goal, they're on the pitch. If that makes sense,
yeah,
they play the game. With him, even if he has 1,000 touches post game, you forgot that he actually had those 1,000 touches. And I'm pushing it, extremely
yeah.
pushing it, because he doesn't do anything with the ball, like absolutely nothing. So it feels like he reminds me of Cuadrado in his last season, where it's just he reaches a point on the field and he's like, I'm gonna play it backwards. We'll go again. Like, that's how it is. It's frustrating and it's pointless to me. But
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think Yildiz should play up top if we really want to keep Koopmeiners as 10. Just put Yildiz up, Bangula on the left, and well, can be on the bench, whatever. But yeah, this is well, he's not doing anything. He tried Koopmeiners as well up top. That wasn't better either. So
no, no,
we
that
need to
was that
find a
was
way
not good
to
as
win.
well.
Yeah.
Do you ever do content where you take over on Giuntoli and show what you would do? I might do that in January or before the January window. I might do that.
Ooh,
We
sounds
ask good qualities,
exciting.
but when you don't use them, you bring absolutely nothing. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess. Um, but yeah, people. I'm gonna wrap this one up. It's actually late. I need to wake up in a couple of hours already. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, people. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back live Friday, preview Bologna game, and then we will be back live Sunday post Bologna game, I guess. And hopefully we will get a win. I guess hopefully no drama from now until till Saturday. Hopefully, no more injuries, because that's always on the table with us. But yeah, that's it, Norbert. Thanks for joining as always. And people, I'll speak to you guys soon. Ciao.